Let's move on to my NFL Week 3 picks. Last week, I went 9-7 with my picks. Overall for the season, I'm at 21-10-1. Here are my Week 3 picks. The Thursday night game this week, which will air on the NFL Network exclusively, is from the AFC South. We have the Tennessee Titans traveling down to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. Of course, Jaguars, again, going with Minshew, I guess is the guy's name, the quarterback now with Nick Foles being out. Of course, the Titans doing their thing. I'm picking the Titans on the road. I think the Titans are just a better team here, and I think they're beating the Jaguars here. Sunday action, we have the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Western New York to take on the Buffalo Bills. The Bills, of course, 2-0 after being both the Giants and Jets to start the season. Should be a good matchup. I'm taking the Bills to win again. I think it wouldn't shock me to see the Bengals win, but I'm going to take the Bills at home to go make it 3-0 in the year. So give me the Bills over the Bengals. The Miami Dolphins travel to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Pretty easy stuff here. I'm taking the Cowboys to win big. Denver Broncos travel to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Should be a good matchup. This is a Super Bowl rematch from many years ago. We've been seeing a lot of these Super Bowl rematches here early in the season. Of course, the Broncos are 0-2 out of the gates. The Packers 2-0. I think it's going to be a close game, but I do think the Packers are going to pull it out, so give me the Packers at home to beat the Broncos. We have the Atlanta Falcons traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Pretty much I think this was a coin flip game. A very interesting matchup here. I was waffling on this one, but I'm actually going to pick the Falcons to go to Indianapolis and get the win. I'm probably going to be wrong, but I'll take the Falcons on the road to beat the Colts. The Baltimore Ravens travel to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs in one of the premier games of the week. Obviously, the offenses are going to be on display, you would think. We'll see how both defenses stack up. With this said, I think the Ravens have the better defense than the Chiefs, and actually this is where my upset pick of the week lies. I'm actually going to take the Baltimore Ravens to go into Kansas City and beat the Chiefs. Again, I could be wrong, but something tells me to take the Ravens here, so I'm going to pick them for the upset to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. We have the Oakland Raiders traveling up to Minneapolis to take on the Vikings. Good matchup, a battle of 1-1 teams here. I just got to take the Vikings here. I think it's a close matchup, but I think the Vikings will just get it done in the end. AFC East matchup, we have the New York Jets traveling up to New England to take on the Patriots. Of course, the Jets, they lost Trevor Siemian now. Of course, they are without Sam Darnold, who's still battling the mono. So they're going with this Falk guy, I think is the guy from the Jets now as a quarterback. He played okay on Monday night in really his first actions. So, but clearly the Patriots are the better team. Give me the Patriots to win. The Detroit Lions travel to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. It's really time for the Lions to see what they're made of here. I know they're doing okay. The Eagles here, the Eagles need a win here, and because it's just one of those things. They lost on Sunday night in a very close game against the Falcons. I think the Eagles bounce back here. I'll take them to beat the Lions. We have the Carolina Panthers traveling out to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Cam Newton, we'll see. He's having issues with his foot. We'll see if he's playing. I suspect he will. Kyler Murray just continues to impress, even though they've yet to win a game. I think they're going to win here. I'm actually going to go for the surprise here. I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals at home to beat the Carolina Panthers. We have the New York Giants traveling down to Tampa Bay to take on the Bucks. Of course, the Giants made the big news with this week. Big news. They have the quarterback change. They're benching Eli Manning in favor of Daniel Jones. I'll talk more about that here in a few minutes on the podcast. But as far as the matchup, I'm going to take the Bucks at home to beat the Giants in a close game. We have the Houston Texans traveling out to Southern California to Carson to take on the LA Chargers. Should be a good matchup here. I think it's a pretty even matchup, but I'm just going to take the Chargers because they're at home. It wouldn't shock me to see the Texans win, but I'll take the Chargers here. Pittsburgh Steelers travel out to the Bay Area to take on the 49ers. Of course, the Steelers got bad news this week with Big Ben Roethlisberger. He's going to be out for the year with an elbow injury, which likely is going to require surgery. So they're going with Mason Rudolph now. Of course, Jimmy Garoppolo was the quarterback for the Niners. Mason Rudolph, he did not look bad for the Steelers here, even though they lost by 2 to the Seahawks last week. I'm going to take the 49ers at home to beat the Steelers. I actually don't think it's going to be a blowout. I do think it's going to be a close game, but I think the 49ers get it done. The New Orleans Saints travel up to the Pacific Northwest to take on the Seahawks. Of course, the Saints are going to be out. They're going to be without Drew Brees. He's going to have surgery on his thumb for a torn ligament. He's going to be out, looks like 6 weeks. So they got Teddy Bridgewater as the quarterback for the time being. Still a compelling matchup. Seattle, I'm just going to take them at home to beat the Saints. The Sunday Night Football game of the week, which will air nationally on NBC, features the LA Rams traveling to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Browns getting the big win last week, while the Rams have looked pretty good so far. I'm going to take the Rams on the road to go into Cleveland and beat the Browns. I think the Rams are just a better team here. But it's kind of cool to see the Browns get national attention here. They're going to be featured for the second week in a row on national television. So we have that. So I'll take the Rams. And finally, the Monday Night Football game this week that will air on ESPN features the Chicago Bears traveling to the nation's capital to take on Washington. Bears coming off an exciting win last week in Denver, while Washington just, continues to do what they do. They're 0-2. The Bears are 1-1. I'm picking Chicago. I think it's going to be a close matchup. I think the Bears are just a slightly better team here, so I'll take the Chicago Bears to win on Monday Night Football. So those are my official Week 3 NFL picks.